trick. I think I mentioned this. The other way to tune to yourself would be just like we did the harmonic at the 12th fret here. We also have harmonics at the 7th fret, and that should match the 5th fret harmonic of the next string down. And here, I'll put it a little bit out of tune intentionally so I can demonstrate. You hear how it's like wobbling? So that, listen for that. Once the wobbling, it'll slow down, and then once it's more or less gone, that's when you're in tune. All right. So this is actually the progression of the Every Praise that you're going to be playing for church in about a month. So, and you won't be reading it when you play it, of course, but to get you started. So we went over all the notes. Do you want to review them once and then I'll have you play it on your own?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first one. That's your F. So A would be an open string. Except that's your open E. A is your third one up. Yep. So it'll be C, A, and then F. Yep. And then just go to the 3rd fret for your G. Yeah. So we're gonna try adding a little rhythm to these notes. Put on the metronome. Start out here. So we're gonna just do straight 8th notes for now. So I'll play it first. So let's just try just on that C to start out with, do the straight 8th notes. That's good. Maybe nod your head or tap your foot or whatever you gotta do to really lock in with the beat. Okay, that's good. So this is a little more advanced, but it's something to start thinking about now. Do you hear when I do it, I'm kind of cutting certain notes short, like the first one I cut a little bit short.
Yeah.
That makes it groove more. And that's just kind of a feel thing. You'll develop that over time. But start thinking about just little things like that in the way you play the notes. Not just the notes themselves, but the way you play them, your touch on them. That's gonna be a huge part of playing bass. So let's go ahead, just back on the C, let's just really groove on those 8th notes. And what you can do, take your left hand here. So instead of just getting the sustained notes, you can use your left hand as a mute to cut it off the note.
Okay.
And it's tricky at first for sure. I like to use as many fingers as I have available to do that. So. Yeah. What you can also do, it's if you just lightly rest those fingers there, it'll get a nice thumpy. You hear the difference there? Yeah. Good, good. So don't stress on that too much for now, but start thinking about the different ways you can mute and different like plucking attacks to get different sounds and make the groove really drive forward. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do the straight eighth notes again through the whole progression. So I'll just demonstrate it once. 2, ready, go. Okay, ready, go. So sorry, I was afraid that was not a good idea to do because it might throw you off. When I put my hand down here on that A, that's
ready for the next one.
That too, but also purely just to mute it, to get that thumpy sound. But I wasn't actually pressing down a fret, it's just the open A string.
Okay.
So, yeah. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, very good. So let's lock in with the click really well this time. 1, 2, ready, go. So it's just the changing between notes that's throwing you off time. But I did hear by the end you kind of got back on the beat, which is good.
Yeah.
Always keep the motion of it. Like if you mess up in the middle of a bar, don't like try to go back and start over that bar. Just keep the time moving. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's just do that one more time. 2, ready, go. So I'm going to play with you this time, and let's just kind of loop it. Once you get to the end of the G, just go back to the C.
Okay.
And just loop it a few times. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to give you the theory of this just a little bit. So, we start on the C. That's what we call our 1 chord. You might also hear it called the tonic chord. Tonic is in tone, like that's our home tone. So, 1 chord. If we count down from the C, 1, so the numbers go 1 through 7 and then start over. So if we're going backwards, it'd be 1, 7, 6 for our A. So this is what we would call the 6th chord. So on A we're 6, 5, 4. So F would be our 4 chord, and then 4, 5. G would be our 5 chord.
Okay.
If I could find that marker, I'll write that down. And traditionally, people use Roman. Sorry, oh my gosh, I just colored on your pants.
Oh, it's
So, let me know if that doesn't come out. I can fade it or something. So, normally it's Roman numerals, and we use uppercase indicates a major chord, lowercase indicates a minor chord. I will write normal numbers underneath too. Let me just write out, so we're in the key of C since this is our 1 chord. C, D, E, F, G, all the notes of our scale. And so down an octave, I'll just write these down in octave too so you can see. Boy, I don't have a room here. So does this kind of make sense? We're in the key of C, so if we write out our C major scale here, you can see count up from the tonic or the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's our A, so we know that's our 6th chord.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. We get the F. We know the F is our 4 chord.
Yeah.
That's starting to make sense. So this is maybe pushing it a little bit, but let's just see if I give you this progression. How are your Roman numerals?
They're alright.
Okay,
They're not like
I will put the, I guess, Arabic, technically, numerals underneath. So those are just 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know all these notes. C, D, E, and F. We have, you know, the open D string. So we've covered all of these notes so far. So we have our C, and then our open D, and then we can jump down to our open E, and then you know the F is the first fret there. So if I ask you to do, just like we did on this, the straight eighth notes,
Yeah.
but over this 1, 2, 3, 4 progression. So think of our scale. If we're in C, it's just going to be straight up C, then D, then E, then F.
Okay.
And let's try it with the notes, like the locations you know, and then I'll show you maybe an easier way to do it.
Okay.
Turn the metronome to a little slower tempo for this.
So just playing the same song.
This would be a different song, but we're doing the same groove or the same feel.
Okay.
Because the chords are different. The chords are kind of what make a song what it is. So once you change the chords, it becomes something else. But you can have the same feel, like the straight eighth notes driving kind of feel or groove. That can be in lots of different songs.
Okay.
So it's just. I'll just play it once for you, how with the notes you know so far. 2, ready, go. So 3rd fret A string, open D, jump down to the open E, and then our 1st fret F. Then back to the top, C, 3rd fret A string, open D string, jump down to the open E, and then 1st fret E string for the F. Is that making sense?
Yeah. Like this one. Open here.
Start over for me. Yep. And then don't forget about the open D string.
Yeah.
And then, yep, the open E after that. So here, here's your C, you know that one, 3rd fret A string. Then go to the open D. So next in the alphabet after D, E. And the one E that you know so far is your open E string. And then E to F, you know the F there at the 1st fret.
Okay.
So just write up alphabetical order, numerical order, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, D, E, F.
Okay.
Okay, so you just reverted back to this. You just played this like we started with. So this was 1, 6, 4, 5. This time we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a good time to jump ahead in the book and get you your other notes. Okay, so see we have an E and an F here as well. This might make more sense because, so we're just going up numerically / alphabetically here, and we can just go straight up with our pitch too. So we have our C here, and our open D, then our E at the 2nd fret on the D string for the 3, and then 4 is at the, F is at the 3rd fret. Oh, we've gotten up 1 fret too high.
Are the stickers labeled correctly?
They are, yeah. Go to the E. Up to the F. You can do it down there, or you can also do like we just learned just now at the 3rd fret on your D string. Yep. So can I hear you just play straight up, just free time to however fast or slow you want, just C, D, E, F. Yep, there's your C right there. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Yeah. So is that helping the numbers make more sense?
Yes.
So we're just going right up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if we wanted to keep going 5, 6, 7, and back to 1. Keep going 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.
Whoa.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1.
How long have you been playing?
I started at age 13, and I'm 31 now, so it's been a long time.
I tell Desmond to enjoy sounding bad now because Mr. Doug has been playing for well over 20 years. So,
Not quite 20, but
I mean-
it's getting dangerously close.
yeah, well over 15 years.
Yeah.
So enjoy sounding bad. Mr. Doug's been doing this a long time.
Yeah, once you get up to my age, you don't get to sound bad anymore. People yell at you when you sound bad. So.
Nobody's yelling at you at this age.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, make all your mistakes, as they'll help you learn. Okay, so what time are we at? 1, 2. Started a little bit late, so we can do another 5 minutes.
Okay.
I did tell the next student to start a little late. So, I think to practice in your own time for next week, definitely keep working on this, but you're picking it up real quick. And then let's go ahead and just get onto the notes on the G string too.
Okay.
Then you'll be pretty well set. You'll have like the whole, every line and space of the staff covered. So be able to read most bass parts. Like if you were to join jazz band next year, you'd be a freshman in high school next year?
8th grade.
Oh, 8th grade next year?
Yeah.
Okay, well in a couple years then you'd be able to probably read all the music for jazz band already just once you get through this. What's in between here? Okay, this is the last thing I wanted to touch on during this lesson. You've heard the word octave before, I'm sure, just in passing, maybe not, that's fine if you haven't. So what an octave is like we were doing here with we did it with the E and the F and the G, where we have the same note in two different spots, and like one's higher and one's lower. That's what's called an octave. So you have your E here, and then you have your open E. That's an octave. And what's really great about the bass is certain shapes you can move anywhere on the instrument and it'll sound the same. Like the relationships between the notes will be the same. So an octave will always be, if you take your lower note, skip one string, go to the string after that, and then go up 1, 2 frets. That's always an octave. Anywhere you put it on the bass, you can go with. It's always going to be an octave. And when you're playing bass lines, octaves are like a really common tool to kind of spice it up. So if I were doing this like we did at the very start, instead of just playing straight on the same note, I could go.
So an octave is 2 strings down
And 2 frets up. That just
2 and 2.
Yeah, kind of makes a square.
2.
So, do you want to try that on? Let's do it on this progression again. So I'll just demonstrate it here kind of slowly. So I'll do octaves on the C, and then your A. So go ahead, when you're using your pinky like that, go ahead and use your ring finger with it. Can you use both of them to press down the fret? Just like this. And make sure you're not past the fret. So just scoot it this way. Yep, like that.
Okay.
And if it's hard for you to get both of them held down at the same time, it's okay to just hold that one, let go for the higher one.
Okay.
So let's try the pattern I was doing. So you'll hit the octave if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be on the 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of mimicking a snare drum, type of thing. Okay, you want to just try that? Go as slow as you want. So hit the high one on the third one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. So you're kind of starting over after you hit the high one, but you want to count to 4. So 2 low, 1, 2,
high on the 3, back to low for 4, and then you start over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wrote it out here if that helps visualize just the pattern. Low, low, high, low, 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 high, low, 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 high, low.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're probably at our time, but you have any questions before we wrap up?
How much pressure should you be putting on the string? I don't know if it's like a,
With this hand?
yeah.
Ideally, you want to use the bare minimum that'll get the note to sound out. So if you press too lightly, it'll sound all buzzy like that. But just kind of add the pressure till it sounds good, and then don't press any harder than that.
Okay. So it's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, if you press a little too hard, that's fine. I press too hard a lot of the time. It's something most people struggle with, is like pressing too hard and having too much tension in the left hand.
Yeah.
But over time, you want to play fast. If you want to not get injured, if you're practicing 8 hours a day, then the less pressure you can use there, the better.
Okay. Sounds good.